We're back.
Heck yeah, we are.
This is the way. The Bucky's way. They send you that helmet?
This is the way of Bucky's.
I had to borrow that from my son
Yeah.
for this,
I saw it in his room and I was going to ask him about it. And
What was that?
I said I saw it in his room when you were giving me a tour of the place. And I was like, kids are going to do what kids do. But I'm just going to pretend Bucky sent that to you after we gave them such glowing reviews.
Absolutely. I wish. Yeah, no, it was funny because I asked him, I said, hey, can I borrow that real quick? And he was like, yeah. He goes, let me take the Bucky sticker off. I was like, no. Just leave it on there.
My the one bit of advice my wife gave me before going live was don't talk about Bucky's. We broke that one.
Get on tangents.
Yep.
Already.
Yeah.
Not even 30 seconds in. Sorry about that.
I did want to start this week a little differently. So I saw a video this week that personally I've been struggling because it's like I don't really know what to do with a show like what we have, right? It's Star Wars focused, but there's never a lot of Star Wars stuff to talk about. So it's like we're always trying to like turn something into nothing. And then you also run into the challenge of there's this, and I don't know if it's just me, so definitely jump into this, but like I feel like there's a consistent need to be negative in every single thing of Star Wars these days. That if a show's out, it sucks. If there's a woman in it, it sucks. If the villain isn't Vader, it sucks. I mean, do you feel that way at the same time?
About Star Wars, or just
I guess just everything in life in a way at this point. Yeah.
You know what? It's one of those things where it feels like there's a lot of negativity, and I feel like everybody's got an opinion, and I think, unfortunately, we live in a world where everybody likes to kind of poo-poo on people's happiness. Do what makes you happy, regardless of what it is. Whether you're a full-grown adult and still want to talk about Star Wars, or talk about Bucky's, or talk about video games, or whatever else, you should just enjoy life. And I think, unfortunately, I believe too many people focus on the negatives instead of being happy and being happy for other people. You know what I mean?
You think there's Bucky haters?
I don't want to believe there is, but I'm sure there is.
They're miserable human beings. Miserable. So anyway, going back to this thing, I saw a video this week, and it's titled "Being a Fan," and it's by a TikTok creator of the name of Nerdy Girl 501, and I just wanted to share it real quick because I think it is the perfect encapsulation of not only what I want this podcast to be, but also what like I think a community surrounding this podcast of like fellow Scruffy Nerf herders could be. So let me pull this up real quick.
Being a fan of something is such a blessing, because being a fan of anything gives your life a lot more purpose than you'll ever know. In a world of so much disagreeing, being a fan lets you be a part of something like-minded. You get to feel together. What a rare thing to feel these days. To be a fan of something is so special because even if it's silly, it's not, because it means something to you. You love something so much that you learn things about it because you want to, not because you have to. To feel that way about anything is to strike gold. If you can be anything in this life, be a fan of something unapologetically. Write the lyrics on your arms, decorate the walls of your home, wear their name on your jersey, stand in crowds, and scream at the top of your lungs like a little kid. And let it keep you that way forever. Let it keep you young. You don't have to understand why. There doesn't need to be any rhyme or reason outside of joy. Just be a fan and let others be fans, and find something that you lose yourself in, because there's no point to life other than to immerse yourself in all the parts of it that make it worth living. So if you can be anything, be a fan of something.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if she wrote that.
Beautiful.
I don't think she wrote that, but the video was well done.
I don't feel like that was from the heart. I feel like that was meaningful, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I have a story. I'm huge into decorating for Halloween, as you can tell behind me. I have a 7-foot freaking Darth Vader up in here. But I literally was at Home Depot, and I was on our mutual friend of ours, Brendan, and I was on the phone with him, and I was like, I need you to tell me no. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I'm looking at a 7-foot Frankenstein right now, and it's like half off. Mm-hmm. I need you to tell me no. And he's all like, why would I tell you no? And I was like, what do you mean? You're supposed to tell me no. And he's like, why would I tell you no? He's like, it makes you happy, buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of hit me where I was like, first off, you're supposed to be, you know, not somebody that's making me feel like I can go ahead and do this, but it's
Yeah,
like,
he's a terrible financial counselor, is what you're telling me.
but he's a great friend.
Yeah.
Like, surround yourself with people that like you for you. And that, I mean, that video was beautiful and speaking to everything that I'm about. I feel like I love what I love, and I'm gonna love what I love. And it's frustrating when people try to tell you what to do with your money or with your happiness or with your time. Or I got a lot of people. I used to go to Disney every year for our vacation, and I'd have some people that are like, "Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of going?" And I'm like, "I'm not. It makes me so happy." So yeah, you know what? Way to start this off different, Brian.
Thanks. Yeah, I know. I'm not just like it made me feel like I was like, oh man, it's very uplifting, and I'm like, you know what?
It
I'm
was.
tired, and I think what it came back to is this like the Star Wars community in a way is in such a weird place where they're just like everything sucks, and I'm like, hey, can we just not sit back and just enjoy the fact that we're getting Star Wars movies and shows, and like we're not sitting between like 4 or 5 year periods when we never got anything, like. I don't know. I, for one, I mean,
that's true. I mean, it's gonna be one of those things where you have gripes about something. You know what I mean? Especially when they start messing with canon or things like that. But you know, I mean, that's a good way to put it. Be happy. There's fans like my father who, you know, he was a super big fan of the original trilogy. And then how long was it between Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace? Like,
I'm not gonna piss off the community by trying to guess that time.
I'm gonna say it was
knows.
16 years. Is my
All right,
guess.
I'm gonna say 12.
Well, now I have to Google this.
I'll look it up real quick. Time between prequels and original. Well, no, it's way more than 12.
I was gonna say, I think it's like 16.
The original movies came out in 1970. So the first Star Wars came out in 1977, and then Episode 1 came out in 1999. So that's 22 years
from first of the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. So the last Episode 6 came out in 1983. So you might be dead on
I was dead on.
You
16
were.
years. Of course I knew that. I'm a Star Wars fan, mega fan. You know, I know these things.
Yeah, 100%. That
was a complete guess. That was pretty good.
That's really spooky. That's enough to have a kid.
So what's the difference between Revenge of the Sith and Force Awakens then?
2005, and then 10 years.
Force Awakens was 27. Was it 2015? Was it really?
Yeah, 2015. Yeah.
Wow.
10 years. Now, in between then, you did have like the Clone Wars shows and stuff, so you did have some
That's
content.
true, so you had something.
But again, I mean, cinematically, I feel like we're getting way more Star Wars content now than we've ever gotten before. It's a very good place to be. Yeah.
It's fun. It's awesome.
Speaking of which,
we're fans.
I got a little cinematic question for you. And this one kind of combines fandoms, if you will. So we're both into Lord of the Rings, and we're both into Star Wars. If you had to pick one Star Wars character to be the ring bearer, who would you pick?
Oh my gosh, what a great question. To like take it to Mount Doom and destroy it?
Yes. Not to fail as a ring bearer, to take it to the end zone, plunge it in. Who would you pick?
See, I was really trying to think, like, is there somebody in the Star Wars universe has like some sort of invisibility? Like,
well, let's start eliminating people, right? Anakin's immediately out of question.
He's like, he takes power, man. You know what I mean?
Kylo's out of the question.
What about Yoda?
Yoda?
Might take a long time to get there.
I mean, he's the size of a hobbit, so Yoda would be a fair guess.
I feel like Yoda does a pretty good job of like staying true. You know what I mean?
See, for me, I would pick Kenobi. Because while Kenobi isn't like the greatest hero, he's the dark horse of the of the story. He's always been reliable. He's always been like the go-getter. And even though he could have been corrupted multiple times, he never was corrupted. So that would be my pick for that end.
That's yeah. No, that's a really good pick actually. What about Ahsoka?
Another good one.
I feel like she's kind of the same way. There's
Yeah.
been multiple times where she absolutely could have been corrupted, but
I'll tell you, it's not gonna be C-3PO. If it was C-3PO, I'd be pushing him in at the edge of Mount Doom, just like boom.
what about like Mando?
Yeah, that'd be a
Din
good one.
Djarin?
Yeah,
He can fly that jetpack. I don't know how far he can fly, but
we
that's
did
the
see
thing.
him.
We're talking about this, and it's like you got people laser swords, blasters against like medieval time swords.
Yeah. And you're assuming that like they're not just gonna leave Rivendell with the Millennium Falcon and just go straight to Mordor.
Just Boba Fett with a seismic charge.
Yeah. Yeah, R2 would be another safe bet for me. R2 seen some shit through the Star Wars universe, so I feel like he would be a safe bet. Ooh.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good question. Way to come out with the questions, man.
Thanks, man.
That's
so
good.
so where are you at hype wise when it comes to Star Wars right now? So we got 4 announcements coming. We got Skeleton Crew, Andor Season 2, Ahsoka Season 2, Mando Grogu, the movie. Where are you at if you had to rank them in those 4s?
Ooh. Any sort of Mandalorian, Grogu movie, anything, I'd say has to be number 1 for me, just because I've loved The Mandalorian ever since it came out. I would say Skeleton Crew is probably my next, only because I haven't seen Andor.
Okay.
So I've heard Andor is really good. So I feel like I need to watch that. But I am actually very excited for the Skeleton Crew. Like I said, we've talked about it before, where I just love that idea of kids having to deal with adult scenarios, and I feel like it's a different take than what we've seen a lot with Star Wars, and even like pod racing. Like the reason why you were so like on the edge of your seat for Annie was because he's a 10-year-old, but dealing with these crazy demolition derby style races that are life and death situations, and I'm totally on board.
That's the difference between our personalities right there, because you're like, it's a kid, so you're worried about kids, and I'm like, they're gonna lose their ship to Watto. Watto was very clear. He goes, "I'm gonna take your ship, stupid Jedi."
You do that really well.
They can't lose the ship, Robbie. That's what we're worriing about. It's not affecting his 10-year-olds die all the time on Tatooine.
But he's the chosen one. Well, at that point we didn't know.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
putting all the faith
high
in him.
Metachlorians. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Mando, Grogu movie, Skeleton Crew. Where are you putting 3 and 4?
Did you say 4?
Yeah, so we got Ahsoka Season 2 and Andor.
Oh, Ahsoka. Oh, that's got to be 3 for me.
Okay.
Andor's got to be last, unfortunately, for me, just because it's kind of hard to be excited about something I don't know what it is. I love Rogue One, so I need to watch Andor, but as of right now, I'm going to have to put that 4. What about you?
For me, I would definitely say Ahsoka Season 1 is probably or Season 2 is probably going to be my number 1.
Wow, okay.
Just because there's a lot of cliffhangers there that I'm really intrigued by. Like, number 1, who are they going to recast as Balin? That's obviously going to change the show. And we also got a lot of dope characters that were introduced on that show, like Shin Hati, who I can't wait to see how they expand that. And I've heard there's some crazy stuff going on this planet where Ahsoka's trapped on. Spoiler alert. But like, there's some crazy side stuff on the casting sites that they've been talking about for doing that. So I'm very excited for that. Number 2 is going to be Andor. Andor is one of the best Star Wars TV shows ever made, but it's also very adult themed. So it's kind of more like a political spy drama. And it ended on another cliffhanger, so can't wait to see how that ends. And then it's going to go Skeleton Crew. I'm definitely going to throw in for that number 3. And the Mando Grogu movie, the only reason I'm putting it in the 4th is because that's supposed to be the cherry on top ending of the Mando universe. And for some reason, in the last like 10 or 12 years, I know I said I wouldn't be negative, but like Hollywood has never landed an ending in the last like 12 to 15 years. There's never been like a trilogy or a series, and I'm like, that ending, they got it. So I'm a little apprehensive about the Mando Grogu movie.
Not even Lord of the Rings, man?
I mean, is that Hobbit 3? No.
Whoa, we're not talking about Hobbit. Like,
Well, let me see. I might have to change my years because when did Lord of the Rings come out? I gotta look that up.
I think the first one. I think the second one. If I'm putting myself, I'm pretty sure I saw Two Towers like 8 times in theaters.
Return of the King came out in 2013. So let me rephrase that and say in the
No.
sorry,
No.
2003. 2003.
Oh, okay. I was
Oh,
like 2013.
Oh, I said 13. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
2003 was Return of the King. So in the last 21 years, that might have been the last time we had a good ending.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like Breaking Bad had a good ending. Sons of Anarchy definitely didn't have a good ending. Game of Thrones, I've never seen it, so I can't really speak on it.
Okay, yeah, that one I'm with you 100%. Like,
Yeah.
that was terrible. Breaking Bad, that was a great ending. What are you talking about?
I don't know why. I just wanted him. I didn't want him to die. And if he did die, I wanted it to be like Scarface style, like Blaze of Glory, just like.
Kind of was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that Mando Grogu, I don't have hope.
So you're nervous. You're nervous that it's gonna be done poorly. See, there you go again. See, don't be negative, man.
Yeah,
you gotta be positive. Have high hopes for it. The problem is, I feel like a lot of times when you have high hopes for things, you're let down.
Yeah.
And 100%. A lot of times you go in to see something and you maybe have low expectations, and then you come out and you're like, "That wasn't that bad." Like,
yeah.
Or if you have no expectations, like I did with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, no expectations for that. I thought I was taking my kid to see a Spider-Man movie, and I came walking out of that being like, I think that might have been the greatest Spider-Man movie I ever saw. Like,
yeah.
So.
Or flip side, you go into the second Into the Spider-Verse movie not knowing it was going to end on a cliffhanger, and it ends on a cliffhanger. You're just like, what the heck is this? I was so frustrated. I was on a plane, like mid-flight, and it happened, and I was just like, what? The movie's over? When's the next one? Speaking of Mandalorian Grogu, I thought we could do like a little improvisation activity real quick.
Okay.
The title hasn't been announced. It's just the Mando Grogu movie. If you had to pick a title for the movie and you were in charge of marketing, what are we doing?
See, the problem is, I was gonna say the problem is like, what was season 2 of Mandalorian? Just Mandalorian season 2. That's all it was.
Yeah. Yep.
The Mandalorian. Man. What about? See, this is tough.
Mm-hmm.
You could do something like Mandalorian and Grogu, Electric Boogaloo. Something.
Okay.
Something ridiculous.
Mandalorian Grogu holiday special. You could do that.
Yeah, don't do that. What about the Mandalorian's child? That doesn't make sense.
Or just the child.
Oh, that'd be good.
I mean, I'm trying to think of what else has been part of that. This is the way. No, you couldn't do that. Or maybe the way.
Oh, actually, I was gonna say, this is the way. I think that would actually be pretty nice.
Yeah, I definitely think we're gonna get posters that say "This is the way."
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I also feel like just calling it Mandalorian. You don't even need to say Grogu, just Mandalorian. Like, we know what it is.
If we have a moment that echoes Lord of the Rings, and you just have Din Djarin, and he just goes like this, and he looks up and he goes, "For Grogu,
bro."
Instead of for Frodo.
Imagine if they kill Grogu.
No. Oh, no. That will, yeah, then we're done. Talking about terrible endings of trilogies.
Hollywood, man. Hollywood doesn't know how to stick an ending. They're just like, hey, we created the most popular Star Wars character in 20 years. Let's kill him.
I was going to say, do you think they may have a moment where you think, like, because, I mean, they did that with, oh my gosh, The Last Jedi? No, not Last Jedi. Yeah. I thought, and I was very upset. I was very, very upset. And why is that? Kill Han Solo. It's fine. You killed Chewbacca. I was pissed.
Bro, I was at a point in that series. Like, I will still say that's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Is that and Rise of Skywalker. Yeah,
Rise of Skywalker.
And when Chewie got on that ship and Rey just hit it with lightning bolts and it blew up, I literally looked at my wife and I was like, I'm gonna walk out of this, dude. I was like, you killed Han, you killed Luke, you killed Leia. Well, Leia died, unfortunately, so they didn't get to expand that. And now you're killing Chewie. Like, C-3PO, the worst character in the entire Star Wars universe, is still alive, and you're gonna kill Chewbacca.
This guy over here.
Thanks a lot, Disney.
That was a moment of fear, though. You know what I mean? Where I think a lot of people, a lot of Star Wars fans, young and old, I imagine some kids watching that were like, "Is he dead? No, get Chewbacca." Yeah, well, let's lighten the mood here. I don't want to talk about death anymore. You know what I mean? Let's talk about some Star Wars jokes.
Yeah, I've been waiting all week.
I bet you were. I got a couple. I'm gonna say one of them I really enjoy. Another one's kind of mediocre, and the other one's kind of But okay. I'm still gonna lay it on you. Okay.
Okay.
I saw a falcon eating avocado toast. Guess it's a millennial falcon.
That's actually a really decent dad joke.
That was the bad one. That was the rough one.
That was the rough one? Okay, we're good. We're good, folks. We're good.
Okay. Here's number 2.
We're good. Hold on. Round of applause. All right, let's hear the next one.
Number 2. What's the internal temperature of a tauntaun?
What is the internal temperature of a tauntaun? What?
Lukewarm.
That's actually really funny. What's funny is when I said it to myself, I was like, the only person that's been in a tauntaun was Luke. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I bet it's lukewarm. And then you said it, and I was like, oh,
you would see. That's been my biggest fear about telling these jokes is if you say it, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, that was it.
All right.
Okay, last one. All right. Ewok strolls into the bar and says to the bartender, I have whiskey and soda. Bartender says, sure thing. But why the little pause? Don't know, says the Ewok. I've had them all my life. Little pause. I like that was my favorite one.
The best part is that the little pause, I just thought you were having difficulties reading or it was like buffering. And I was like, oh no, did I lose the connection? And then
no.
That's great.
My favorite part is just the image in my head of an Ewok at a bar being like, I don't know. Yeah. Oh no, it's a Jawa.
There's an old joke that I heard once, and it was like a similar thing where this guy was talking about a kid throwing bricks up in the sky, and then he's like, this kid went outside and he was throwing bricks in the air, and everybody's like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, one day I'm gonna throw it and it's just gonna get stuck in the clouds. And they're like, all right, whatever. And then the next day, a duck got on a plane, and then he was boarding and got down the aisle and walking on the plane. The plane took off, went into the sky, and the duck looked out the window. You know what he saw? He saw a brick. And it was just like one of those jokes that I was like, what the
what?
Yeah. So you got that. I did do something a little bit for this week. So we've been talking about ranking characters against each other, right? We've always talked about like dream fights of who we thought was going to win. I thought we should do a little challenge of trying to find the best villain in Star Wars. So the goal of this week is I'm going to show us some villains, and we have to remain quiet until we see a villain that we think is better than Kylo Ren.
Speak when you see a better Star Wars villain than Kylo Ren.
I'm going to jump in because Kylo Ren is one of the worst villains and characters in the entire Star Wars canon, and I will fight anyone on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts or anywhere that this is. Kylo Ren is a whiny biatch who stabbed one of the greatest characters in the history of Star Wars. Shame on you, Kylo. Shame on you. You have brought shame on your family. And that's saying a lot because your grandpa had the Death Star and killed a bunch of younglings, and somehow you've done something worse.
Somehow we still don't like you.
Anyway, I spoke. Now it's your turn, so let's go through the list.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay. I have to stop there. So much, so like this. So this right here.
Yeah.
As much as like I felt like it was a problem in Rise of Skywalker, where they're like somehow Palpatine returned. It was almost one of those ones where it was like I felt like they weren't doing as great of a job with the villains.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Snoke, like I was kind of bummed how they did Snoke, because I thought it was going to end up being something like a Sidious, because Sidious was just such like a villain that you saw turn, I guess, a protagonist into an antagonist.
Yeah.
And then like just a fantastic villain, and you hate the guy. Like you literally are like, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
Both in like Chancellor form and in Palpatine form. Like every time you see, especially in Chancellor form, because I feel like, you know, a lot of times with politics, people kind of like feel like, ooh, they're slimy. Ooh, you know what I mean? And I felt like he played a perfect version of like somebody that you are like, shut up. I don't want to hear you talking.
Yeah.
You keep getting voted for. So yeah, absolutely. It was hard before. So like Grievous, I really like Grievous as a villain, but it was hard for me to like, I guess, like in my head, speak up. It was also really hard on, oh my God,
Thrawn.
General
I
Thrawn.
saw you have some
Thrawn.
pain come across your face.
I don't know much about him. All I know from him is what I've seen in Ahsoka. So it's like I felt like if I had seen more of the Clone Wars, I probably would have spoke up then too. But yeah. I feel very happy with this because I don't know a lot out there that I would speak up over Palpatine.
Yeah, I feel like Palpatine's the worst out of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have more after this?
No, I literally ended on Palpatine because I knew like there's no way you can say Palpatine's Kylo's a better villain than Palpatine. There's no way. I heard there was like a video talking to like the stunt coordinator, Christopher Lee, who plays Count Dooku. In that awesome scene where Dooku is on the Star Destroyer and he's facing Anakin and Obi-Wan in what is that, Revenge of the Sith? It's all CGI.
Yeah, his arms are all CGI.
Yeah, because apparently Christopher Lee couldn't lift his arms above his elbow due to a heart condition. So instead of like doing the whole entire fight, they just did it in CGI. And I was like, honestly, I've got to go back and watch this. And I watched it. I was like, it's not that bad. I was like, I never would have known. Like I never would have known.
Tell?
No.
Really? Yeah. See, I like when I saw it, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like I never even for a moment ever would have thought that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Saruman. You know what I'm saying?
The only member of the cast who knew J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm just going to be that guy in the conversation just to throw that out there.
Welcome to the Lord of the Rings podcast.
Hey, by the way, did you know that Aragorn broke his foot when he kicked the helmet? And Samwise stepped on glass when he went into the boat at Rivendell?
That's going to be the new thing now. Did you know these arms are CGI? They'll be like, let me guess, Grievous is R2. What? What? No way.
C-3PO was the villain the entire time.
I also saw some Samuel Jackson was talking to Jimmy Kimmel.
Bro, we must be on the same feed.
You see that too?
Where he was talking about how Star Wars has got multiple one-armed.
Oh yeah. He's like, you think second strongest Jedi out there is dead? He's like, I'm not dead. I was like, what? Is he leaking something?
That now that we've gotten like Obi-Wan and we've gotten Ahsoka as a show, Windu might be the next one that I'm like, that's my wish list.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. Have it take place immediately once he falls down and he has to go into hiding. So he's got like a cloak on the street of Coruscant, like limping, trying to, hide, and then goes into hiding, but then just turns into like an utter badass, like Windu's Last Stand or something like that.
Tired of all these mother flipping snakes on this mother flipping starship. That's what you mean.
They got to do it. They got to do it fast though, man, because I don't know how long they. I mean, the thing is, like with technology, I'm sure they can do whatever they want with Samuel. Yeah.
I mean, he does quite a bit of stuff still. I mean, all the stuff he does with Nick Fury, and he's done. I mean, so many movies. Yeah. I feel like he'd be on board to do it too.
What's that line from Marvel where he's like, "We ordered you to stand down," and he's like, "And I kindly took your order and told it to." What was it? He's like, "And I kindly told your order to go f off" or something like that. Yeah.
All right, man. I got a little game for you. You ready?
I love games. Let's do it.
I'm gonna share a screen with you.
Okay.
We're not gonna put this up just so you know. We're not gonna show that off, but it's so I can pull up the audio. Okay.
It's a beautiful background.
Thank you, man. Thank you. All right. So this little game I have for you here, I'm gonna play some audio sounds from Star Wars, and your job is to try to guess who is saying these lines. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to say they're super difficult because pretty sure I got all of them, but there might be a couple that might make you like, who was that? So
Okay.
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Let's do it.
Hello there.
I got it. That's obviously Obi-Wan.
Nice job. Nice job.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
give you
you.
this.
Thank you.
Give you this.
Thank you.
All right. Round 2.
I hate you!
That scared the living hell out of me. That would be Anakin.
Nice job.
Or technically, because someone's going to come, Darth Vader.
I was going to say, bonus points for who he's saying that to.
Oh, he's obviously saying that to Kenobi.
Okay.
To
There you go. See?
Kenobi.
You knew this. Nice job.
Kenobi. I'm going to be a
All right, here we
Jedi
go.
Master at the end of this.
This one might be a little trickier.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh. We were at that toy store and they had him there. Babu Freak. Babu
Nice.
Freak? All right,
You got
all
it.
Which is
Babu
one of the
Frick,
best
my
parts
oldest
of
friend.
Return of the Jedi, dude.
Dude.
Or not Return of the Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, where the big battle's coming on. And he's like, "Who blew it up?" And he's like, "Ah."
The line with C-3PO, and he basically his memory goes blank, and he says, "Babu Frick, my oldest friend." I laughed way too hard. Like all these people in there that have known C-3PO so much longer, and that's what he says. It's so funny. All right, here we go. Next one. That one scared me. I'm sorry.
That's a trick. That could be a trick. I'm assuming it's Chewbacca.
Good job. Good job.
Okay.
See, I wasn't gonna mess with you.
I thought you were gonna throw me like some random Wookiee.
All right, I got 2 more for you. You ready?
All right, let's do it. Oh, is that Greedo?
Nicely done.
Whew.
Nicely done. And last one here. This might be tricky. Okay.
All right. I thought you were gonna have me guess someone's footsteps. I was like, oh damn, this is tricky. That is Peter Griffin as Han
Nice.
Solo.
Hey.
Which I've actually
Well
never
done.
seen those. Have you watched Family Guy Star Wars?
Yes.
Okay.
You absolutely. That's your homework, my man. Because
Maybe that'll be our next watch along.
Hilarious. Oh man, it's funny.
Yeah.
You would enjoy it.
Family Guy is the one show that I absolutely like. When I'm in a hotel room and it's on, I'm like, yep, let's put it on.
See, I do the same thing. That one
Yeah.
and South Park sometimes too.
Yeah,
And I
South
feel
Park's
like a lot
always
of-
on at weird hours too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're always guaranteed past 10 for South Park to be on.
So, did we talk about what you're being for Halloween?
Mm-mm.
What you being for Halloween? You and your family?
So I have 3 costumes this year.
3 costumes?
Yeah, so every year we do Halloween postcards.
Okay, right.
And we just sent ours out, and this is mine. So I am dirty cowboy Post Malone, and then my wife is Post Malone, and then our kids are Post Malone. So it's our Halloween postcard.
That's awesome.
So we just got done sending those out. For trick or treating, we will be trolls. So I will be Branch. My daughter will be Poppy. My
Heck
son
yeah.
will be Tiny Diamond, and my wife will be Viva. And then we're
Incredible.
going to a little town Halloween event for kids later this week, and I am going to be Spider Dad because I don't
Spider Dad.
plan on having another newborn kid anytime soon. So I'm
Okay.
putting my Spider-Man suit on, sweatpants, a robe, and then I'm just going to wear my son like Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse.
That is genius.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not gonna be able to
genius.
do this for a while, so I'm just gonna.
That's
this one out.
hilarious. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I only have one costume. Me and my family somehow we all decided to be Pokemon. So
Dope.
my wife's gonna be Snorlax. I'm gonna be Gengar. We all seem to be our favorite Pokemon. So my wife's a Snorlax, mine's Gengar. My son, he's being Charizard, and then my daughter's gonna be Eevee. So
Ooh,
yeah,
that's exciting.
yeah, it'll be fun.
You
I'm
should throw
excited
some water
for it.
on her.
Try to make her turn to Vaporeon, or what do you-
Yeah. Just like splash water on her.
She's not a
like,
gremlin.
Turn. God, man, gremlins.
But yeah, I'm thinking. So I've always wanted to be Darth Vader for Halloween,
Uh-huh.
and I think next year I'm going to start planning now. I'm going to actively try to make sure I'm Darth Vader for Halloween next year.
Yeah, it's one of the things that, thanks to the power of TikTok, I've really been getting like a lot of Star Wars costumes, and I'm
Mhm.
like, I love it. Like, I love seeing people who do that, and like the availability of like really dope ones. Like, if you wanted to get like a high end Darth Vader costume, 100% doable these days, and it's not insane. You know,
Yeah, I'd probably take this guy. Just
you should
get a
try
helmet.
it.
They have
Yeah.
some nice Darth Vader helmets out there. I've seen the Hasbro Black Series. They got this
Yeah.
nice helmet, goes over your head, and the shell comes off and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna look into it. But
Speaking of which, I do have some TikToks for you.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's what I wait for. You wait for my jokes. I wait for these TikTok videos of yours.
So I got a couple. One is a really funny costume.
Okay.
It wasn't really trick or treating, but great Halloween idea. If you're looking for a last minute costume, run to Spirits, pick it up. It's an easy one to do. Just straight stormtrooper, clone trooper with a lightsaber sticking through their body. Obviously, Order 66.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. It's a good one. And
That
then
is a good one.
this one is a homemade costume, which again we're both fans of that, but really might be top tier. Like give the entire bucket of candy.
Okay.
Top tier.
That is incredible.
Right? The dad's got like an RC, and that's how he's moving it. And I don't know what his daughter is, I'm assuming, but it looks like Padme.
Oh my
or
god,
maybe
and
something
she's
else.
Amidala. Yeah, she's Queen
yeah.
Amidala.
But can
That
I tell
looks
you my
so
favorite
good.
part? My favorite part is the way that Grogu enters the screen to begin with. And it reminds me so much with the music like of the old M. Night Shyamalan movie Signs, where you see
Okay.
the alien for the first time. And it's like when you see Grogu creeping out, I feel like we should get a photo where the guy looks at the TV with the aluminum foil, like, what the?
You bring up like one of the most terrifying moments of my history of seeing movies.
Bro, it's what it
was
literally
accurate.
looks like.
It was
Look.
accurate.
It's like
Just
slow moving.
So it was like the perfect speed that it was just coming in frame.
Yeah, kudos to that dad, man. I mean, kudos
Yeah,
to the
that's
family,
good.
but yeah, that's awesome.
That's good. That kid's
Um,
loving it too because they don't have to walk anywhere.
And then the last thing, or I guess I got a couple. So I got three more.
Okay.
Star Wars thirst traps have been something I've been getting a lot of.
Have you? So we talked about this before. I got a email for the burlesque Star Wars show.
Are they coming to Texas?
I don't know. I didn't click into it, but
Dang it.
my parents went to it and they said they loved it. So
These guys need to come to Texas so we can do a proper review, because we talked about it on YouTube and someone commented on the video and they were like, this was the worst review. You guys didn't talk about the show at all. You just talked about and I was just like, well, we obviously didn't get the chance
we
to
didn't go.
If we get the opportunity to go to Star Wars strips back, we'll 100% go.
Hell yes.
And we'll take our wives who are casual Star Wars fans, and we'll see if
Oh,
they like
yeah.
it too. So
They'll
you
be
get the-
very
the
confused.
female
Oh, that's a
review.
good idea. We'll bring them on and see what they have to say. They'll be like,
Yeah.
"That was the weirdest. I am not trusting you to pick anything that we do for date night ever again."
We don't tell them. We don't tell them where we're going.
We're gonna just double date. Just don't tell them what's going on.
Yeah. It's super casual.
So good.
So Star Wars thirst traps are a thing that I've been seeing a lot on TikTok, where they usually have women and they've got lightsabers, and I'm like, okay, you're right up my alley. Like, what are we doing here, friends? So here's the first one that came through.
It's been a long time since I killed a Jedi. Your lightsaber blade is red.
That was dope.
Very dope.
That was cool.
I endorse more
The
people
freaking
take advantage of this.
That was sick.
Yeah, we 100%
awesome.
need more of those videos in our world. But
Heck yeah.
not just to be considered, sexist pigs who only watch women. I also got to thirst trap men this week. So,
Okay.
here, equal opportunity.
What have you become? I am what you made me.
Okay.
Just say you want to try to do one of these. We'll see how it turns out.
I think I was kind of thinking it, but I was afraid to. Should we try to do our own?
Hell yes.
All right.
That is. I will come with one next week.
Okay, I'll try to film them.
Perfect.
I've got two sabers now. I'll be Bryant Two Blades.
Bryant Two Blades. I just gotta come up with a better Jedi name than that, man.
Oh, who we after this week? Oh, we're after Bryant Two Blades. The final one is something that they do at Disney parks, and I see it occasionally, but I think we got to make it a goal of ours that we got to do this sometime. So if you're not familiar, at the end of every night at Disney, all the people get together with the sabers and stick them up in the air and have like a good night thing. We got to attend this.
Absolutely. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking. I cannot wait to see this.
Yes. So let's play this real quick.
Literal goosebumps.
It's amazing. So many sabers.
Dark saber.
So much credit card debt.
I'm telling you, if I would absolutely love to go to freaking Star Wars night.
Yeah, we should.
Do they do it at both parks?
I have to assume so.
Okay.
I've got to assume so, but that's what May 4th.
Gotta try to make that happen because
yeah, that's gonna be so.
To
That's
be a
probably
part
the
of
busiest day of that park.
oh, absolutely. Imagine the wait for Rise.
Here's what
4
we do
hours.
though: we grow the show in popularity, right?
Okay.
And we do a meetup on May
Meet and
4th
greet.
at the park. But then we have the show. It's so popular because of sponsorship money and all that great stuff
Buc-ee's.
that we just do the VIP and we just, hey guys, sorry, Fast Pass VIPs. See you guys. Enjoy those 4-hour wait lines. We're going on Rise. We're riding it all day long, just on loop.
Oh my gosh.
Goals.
Goals. We got some goals. We got some lofty goals now.
Yep, for sure.
I'm
But that's
with
all
it.
the TikToks I had for this week, man.
Gary, you came with some good ones. Nicely done.
Yeah, like I said, take it right back. Nerdy Girl 501 on TikTok really inspired me this week. So
Dad, I'm telling you right now, that uplifted the heck out of me. Like I'm it just made me be like, good, I'm glad there's other people out there that do what makes them happy. And that's true for all of you, anybody listening. Do what makes you happy. Regardless of what it is, don't let anybody crush your happiness or your dreams. You want to do something, just do it. Take that grain of salt.
Do what makes you happy, especially when it requires hitting the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button underneath the video. We're not trying to, influence you, but hey, that also helps.
Helps us get to Star Wars night.
For sure. Helps us get there sooner. So, but you got anything else?
That's it for me, man. Great week, though. Everybody enjoy Halloween.
Yeah, enjoy your Halloweens. Until next time, may the Force be with you.
Always.